Welcome back, and today I have my cousin Olivia with me. Hi everybody! And she's going to introduce what I'm going to do today.
Alright, my name's Olivia, and I'm Rhonda's cousin, and she made me wear this apron even though she won't let me cook in the kitchen. But today, we're not going to cook food we're going to eat, we're going to cook homemade Play-Doh for the kiddos. Rhonda, take it away.
All right, let's have some fun. So we're going to make some homemade Play-Doh, and my granddaughter's favorite color is green, so we're going to do green. And let's get started. So we need some flour. We need 2 cups of flour. And when measuring out flour, you want to level it off because we are doing a recipe. Even though it's a fun recipe, it still needs to be exact because it's like science. Like, it has to be exact or it won't come out correct. Okay, so we have our 2 cups of flour, and then we need 1 cup of salt. So this recipe is non-toxic, although you wouldn't want to eat it, and you really wouldn't want your pet to eat it because there's so much salt in it that you really wouldn't want to eat it, and you wouldn't want your pet to eat it. But if they get a hold of a little bit, at least it's non-toxic. Okay. Okay, we're gonna try to get all the way up to the 1 cup of salt. Okay, this is a fun activity. I know a lot of people just would rather go to the store and get Play-Doh, and that's good, but besides that we're making it homemade, it's actually like we're doing science and we're doing something in the kitchen, and their kids are going to have something fun to play with. And if you're an adult and you have arthritis, this makes for a nice physical therapy too. So instead of going and buying Play-Doh, you could do it this way. Okay, so now we need cream of tartar, and I just bought the cheapest cream of tartar I could find because I was buying it specifically to make Play-Doh. Okay, so we need 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar, and I grabbed the wrong thing, so let me go get the right thing. I grabbed a tablespoon, so I have to, oh, that is for my oil. So let me go grab a teaspoon. Okay, I have my teaspoon out. I had got my tablespoon out because we're going to need that for the oil. So we need 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar, and we're going to use the lid to level it off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and now we're going to use our tablespoon, and we need 4 tablespoons of oil. I'm going to use sunflower oil, but you could use any type of this type. I mean, I wouldn't use olive oil, it's expensive. Sunflower oil, canola oil, corn oil, any of those will be just fine. And we're going to do 4 tablespoons of oil. One, 2, 3, 4. We'll just make sure we get all that off there. And I could have used a little measuring cup. I have a miniature one, but I just grabbed this out so it was handy. I have one that's good for a small amount of water, small amount of oil. All right, so now we need 2 cups of water. And I already measured out 2 cups of water, but when you're looking at your liquid measure, you want to get level with it and make sure that it's level by looking down at the same level. Okay, so we're going to put in our 2 cups of water. Okay, now let's review what we have so far. we have the 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of salt, 4 teaspoons of cream of tartar. Okay, and then we have our 4 tablespoons of oil and our 2 cups of water. And then we need food coloring. But first, I'm just going to start stirring this up. I'm going to use a fork just so it kind of blends up. Kind of scrape the sides here. Hope everybody's having a good day. This is a fun indoor activity when it's hot out. So I'm going to keep on mixing this, but I'm going to add my food coloring. So we want to do green, and I'm going to do a couple drops of green there, however dark you want it. And I'm going to just mix this around, and if it's not dark enough, then we can always add more. And I would say we should add some more because I don't think it's quite dark enough. So we'll add some more. And this was actually old food coloring that I had, and I saved it for this sort of thing. Okay, my granddaughter's giving me a signal that I think this is dark enough. She doesn't want it any darker than this, so. Okay, so we're trying to, with the fork, kind of get the clumps of flour out. We want it smooth. And I suppose you could use a mixer. I think it would just be just as easy just to use a fork. The whole idea here is we're just trying to make it simple, not make a big, huge mess. And this is a nice, like, kind of like a lime green. Now, this Play-Doh, if you smell it, smells okay. Doesn't smell bad. But what I like to do, if I was doing yellow, I would do lemon extract. If I was doing orange, I would use orange extract. But since I'm doing green, I'm going to use mint extract. And this is just going to make it smell nice. So I'll just put in a little bit of mint extract. Or you could use peppermint. That'd work also. And then that smells good. So when your kid or grandkid is doing this, I used to do this a lot when my kids were little, so it's fun. Okay, so we will just keep on stirring this a bit. And I'm almost done. Like I said, you want the majority of these lumps out of here. We are going to actually take this over in just a second to the stove, and we are going to cook this. So typically, while I'm doing this, I'll just talk. So typically, if you've watched my videos before, I've pretty much converted over to cast iron skillets. But I have some nonstick. I'm not making this in a cast iron skillet. I kept my nonsticks to do projects. So this is one of my little projects I'm going to do. So we are going to use a nonstick big saucepan. So we'll take it over to the stovetop and we'll start cooking our Play-Doh. All right, so I've heated up my nonstick, and this is an old pan, so like whatever old pan you have that you're probably not going to cook food in, okay? Because it might like leave like a smell or something behind it. I don't know. I always use old pans. That's how I've always done it. Okay, so I heated it up, and I have the heat on medium, and we're going to pour all this in. And we have to kind of do this in a timely fashion. I have a rubber spatula, and I am scraping everything out of the bowl. Okay, so as much as I can scrape out of the bowl. Okay, so I'm going to be mixing this. And so what we're going for is Play-Doh consistency, but we are going to cook this. And you will see that it'll start looking like Play-Doh. But as I said, you don't want it too low. So medium heat, I think, is the best. And then I'm continuing to stir it because I did have just a couple pieces of that flour that were lumpy, and we want to just make sure that this ends up being nice and smooth. That is the idea. But it will start to thicken, and that's another reason you definitely want to be using non-stick. Okay, so I'm going to mention that this will keep in a airtight container for approximately 2 weeks, but use your best judgment. So if it starts getting dried out and nasty, time to make some more. If it starts to smell funny, time to make some more and pitch it, okay? Because everybody's house temperature is different. Your container might be, somebody's container might be better than somebody else's container. So you can see it's starting to thicken already. And it smells really good, but again, we're not going to eat this, even though it's non-toxic. We don't want to really eat it. It's got a lot of salt in it, and it probably wouldn't taste very good anyway. Okay, so you can see how it's thickening up. And see, you want to use kind of like, you wouldn't want it really deep, like in a saucepan. You definitely want a skillet style pan. It's thickening up. It's looking good. I'm going to reduce the heat just a tad because I don't want it to go too fast. And eventually what's going to happen is it's going to stop sticking. Like, I mean, it's sticking a little. It's a non-stick, but it starts to, see this, how it's starting to look like this. It's getting actually a little bit darker in color. It's getting a little dried out. That's what you want, because you want it to look like Play-Doh. And yes, we still buy Play-Doh, but this is really fun to make at home. And you can go ahead and, like I said, put the smells you want. But if you're really not wanting the chemicals of Play-Doh, this is great. And like I said, this is not only for kids. You can use this to help with therapy for your hands if you're arthritic. Like, I'll probably need to use it after after making it, because it's a little bit of a mixing thing. But we're getting really close. You can see. You see how it's getting nice, like in a nice ball right here. Look at that. That is really good. That is what you want to see. And it is going to be hot, so we got to be very careful. So, and I am going to play with it a little so that everybody can see. So we'll go over to the counter. We'll play with it. I'm going to turn off the heat right now because it's the way we want it. Just a few little stragglers right there. And I'm just going to keep on mixing. And yes, it's going to be hot, so we definitely, as an adult, you need to check it to make sure before the kids touch it. And make sure that, you know, you have to squeeze it and make sure that it's not too hot for them. Okay, so this looks like it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off the camera. I'm going to take this over the counter and we're going to play with it. Okay, so now I'm just going to take this out of the pan carefully because it's hot. And I'm just putting it on a plate right now because I just want it to cool down before we do anything with it. Okay, so this is how much it made. I gave a little piece to my granddaughter to have her start playing with it. And I'm just going to take a chunk, and it's warm right now, which is fine for me. Oh, that feels good. Like I said, it's good. Like if you have arthritis, it's good, very therapeutic. It's not hot though. It's just a little warm. So I'm just going to show you. I'm going to borrow this bowling pin from Olivia over here And I'm going to show you how you can roll it out. And notice I'm not getting the green on me. And I can cut out a shape. We didn't get all the shapes. Because there's oil in it, it doesn't stick. So that's really cool. So there's this. You can cut out all types of shapes, whatever your child has for Play-Doh stuff. And then you can roll it into like a snake. So it's nice and smooth. And then, let's scoot this over. You can do like coil art, where you coil the snake up. All different types of things you can do with this. So I'm going to roll it into a big ball, just so we can have an idea of how much do we actually have here. And I think my granddaughter just went to get the rest of her cutout things. And you can do stamps. There's like so many things you can do. Okay, so let's take a look. All right, what do you think, Olivia? She's over there staring at me. So, see how big this is? That's how much you'll make, which is really wonderful. So, like I said, it is nice and soft here. All right, so I'm just going to let you see the texture of this. And it smells really good.
Wow, Rhonda, that was impressive. Wow, that made a lot of Play-Doh. I'll have to play with it later. So how do you store that, Rhonda? So it doesn't get all dried out and nasty.
Okay, so I usually put it in an airtight container. Now, to really probably do it really well is you could put it in a Ziploc storage container, then maybe put it in another container. Whatever you have that is airtight. But I hope you enjoyed this video.
Well, I'm going to have a lot of fun playing with this Play-Doh with my little hands, and can't wait.
I can't wait either. Thanks for watching, and those of you who subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. And if you don't, I hope that you do, and check out some of my previous videos for some yummy desserts, side dishes, and main dishes. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching my Cousin Rhonda. Have a great day. Bye.